Welcome to Mr. Car Drive. If you're passionate about cars, speed, and everything automotive, this is the channel for you. Mr. Car Drive brings you in-depth car reviews, exciting test drives, and the latest automotive news. Whether you're into classic muscle cars, high-performance supercars, or the newest electric vehicles, we cover it all. Join us as we explore the world of cars, break down the specs, and give you real insights into what makes each vehicle special. Subscribe now and hit the road with Mr. Car Drive. The 1966 Chevrolet Camaro Z/28 is often considered a legend, but there's a catch: you won't find one in any classic car show, museum, or private collection. That's because the Z/28 package didn't officially debut until 1967. So, what if we told you there's a hidden history behind the Camaro's origins, one that leads directly to the birth of the iconic Z/28? Chevrolet didn't just roll out the Camaro as a random competitor to the Mustang. No, they had a strategic plan, a desire to dominate the SCCA Trans Am racing series, and a high-performance small-block V8 waiting to be unleashed. This is the story behind the earliest days of the Camaro, the roots of the Z/28, and why 1966 was the year that set the stage for muscle car greatness. Let's break it all down: the origins of the Camaro, its connection to racing, and how Chevy engineered a street-legal beast that would go on to become one of the most legendary performance machines in history. The birth of the Camaro, why 1966 matters. The mid-1960s were dominated by the Ford Mustang. When the Mustang debuted in 1964, it completely changed the game. Ford had created something unique, a small, lightweight, sporty coupe with enough power and style to appeal to everyone. By 1965, Mustang sales were skyrocketing, and Chevrolet had no direct competitor. Sure, they had the Corvair, but it wasn't even close in terms of popularity. Chevy needed something big, fast. That's where the idea for the Camaro came in. The project was codenamed Panther, and behind the scenes, Chevrolet was developing a pony car that could take on the Mustang and win. By the end of 1966, Chevrolet was ready to unveil the Camaro to the world. It was set to launch as a 1967 model, but in September 1966, the first production Camaros rolled off the assembly line. So, while the Camaro technically didn't exist in 1966 as a full production model, the groundwork was already being laid. And more importantly, Chevrolet's racing department was working on something even more special: the Z/28. The secret behind the first Z/28, why it was built. While the Camaro was in development, Chevrolet's performance engineers had their eyes on a different prize: Trans Am racing. The Sports Car Club of America, SCCA, Trans-American Sedan Championship, better known as Trans Am, was quickly becoming one of the most competitive racing series in the U.S. Manufacturers wanted bragging rights, and Ford was already proving that the Mustang was a serious threat on the track. Chevrolet had no choice but to respond aggressively. This is where the idea for the Z/28 package was born. It was never meant to be a mainstream Camaro model. It was created specifically for Trans Am racing, designed to meet the 5.0-liter engine limit and dominate the competition. By late 1966, Chevrolet engineers had developed a 302 cubic inch small block V8, combining a 327-stroke with a 283s bore. This resulted in an engine that revved to the moon and delivered over 400 horsepower in race trim. But here's the thing: Chevy couldn't just release the Z/28 as a race-only model. To qualify for Trans Am racing, they had to sell street versions. The 302 small block, the heart of the Z/28. The Chevy 302 V8 was one of the most unique small blocks ever built. It wasn't about massive torque or straight-line drag racing. This engine was designed for high-revving power, tight handling, and endurance racing. Here's what made the 302Z/28 engine special. Displacement, 302 cubic inches, 5.0 L. Horsepower, officially rated at 290 horsepower, but real output was closer to 350 to 400 horsepower. Redline, over 7,000 RPM, incredible for the time. Carburation, Holley 780 CFM 4-barrel carb. Intake manifold, high-rise aluminum design for max airflow. Exhaust, dual headers for optimized performance. When paired with a close-ratio Muncie 4-speed transmission, the 302 transformed the Z/28 into a true racer. While most muscle cars relied on big block power for straight-line speed, the Z/28 was all about balance, lightweight, high-revving, and perfectly suited for road course racing. Performance, how fast was the Z/28? On paper, Chevrolet understated the Z/28's power output to make sure it didn't scare buyers away. But in reality, this car was an absolute monster. 0 to 60 miles per hour, 5.8 seconds. Quarter mile, 14.5 seconds at 100 miles per hour. Top speed, 130 plus mph. This was a car that could rev higher and pull harder than almost anything in its class. On the track, it was even better. The Z/28's secret weapon, handling. Most muscle cars in the late 60s had one major problem: they were fast in a straight line but awful in corners. Chevrolet didn't want that for the Z/28. So, they upgraded the suspension, brakes, and steering, making it one of the best handling muscle cars of its time. Key features: heavy-duty front and rear suspension. Quick ratio steering box for better control. Power-assisted front disc brakes for improved stopping power. Lightweight chassis for better weight distribution. The result? A Camaro that wasn't just fast, but agile, something that gave it an edge in Trans Am racing. Exterior and interior, race-ready from the factory. The 1967 Z/28 looked like a Camaro on steroids. It featured racing stripes, white or black, running from the hood to the trunk. 15-inch rally wheels, wider tires for better grip. Cowl induction hood, feeding cool air into the high-revving 302. Minimal badging, no flashy Z/28 emblems at first, making it a sleeper. Inside, it was all business. Optional tachometer with 7,000 RPM redline. Hurst 4-speed shifter for precise gear changes. Basic bucket seats with no frills, just performance. Legacy, how the Z/28 became a legend. When the Z/28 finally hit the streets in 1967, it was unlike anything else. It wasn't just a straight-line drag racer like the Chevelle SS or Plymouth Roadrunner, it was a true performance machine designed for the twists and turns of real racing. Over time, the Z/28 became one of the most respected muscle cars in history. By 1969, it was dominating Trans Am racing, beating Mustangs, Firebirds, and Challengers. Today, the first-generation Z/28s are some of the most valuable classic Camaros. A well-preserved 1967 Z/28 can sell for over $150,000 at auction. Final thoughts: why the Z/28 was a game-changer. The Chevy Camaro Z/28 wasn't just another muscle car, it was a high-performance track weapon that proved small-block V8s could be just as deadly as big blocks. Would you choose the Z/28 over a big-block Camaro SS? Let us know in the comments. And if you love classic muscle cars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more epic content. If you love cars and want to stay updated with the latest reviews, test drives, and automotive news, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Car Drive. Your support helps us bring you even more exciting car content. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Let's hit the road together. Automobile dashing away.